Getting your car ready for winter is a must just about anywhere, but especially here in the beautiful Midwest. With that, the number one point of failure is your car's battery and charging system, which is a double-edged sword in itself. A failing alternator will inevitably kill your battery, or in my case, my failing battery from a few months prior inevitably caused me to film the video you're watching now. The signal I got that my alternator was on its last leg was while driving. My battery was only indicating about 13 volts when it should be around 14 to 14.5. This will definitely cut your battery life short if not immediately addressed. However, a few other signs might be if the interior and exterior lights of your car dim or brighten based off of engine RPM, and a helpful little light on the dash. With the problem identified, we begin by first locating your battery and removing the negative battery cable, saying goodbye to that pesky check engine light and all of your radio presets. If necessary for removal, now would also be the time to take off your tire to gain better access to either the alternator or belt systems that need to be addressed. Moving to the engine bay, after popping the hood, locating the alternator is really easy because almost all alternators have looked the same for about 60 plus years. Here's mine from 2005, and here's mine from 1967. Nearly identical. With that being said, I do need to remind you, smash like and subscribe. If you aren't already aware, I'm currently in a subscriber war with my college, Wichita State University. The only problem with this war is, if they find out about it, I will lose. But seriously, if you're not already subscribed, be sure to hit that button down below. And let's continue with the video. Once the alternator is located, we can begin the actual removal process by putting a ratchet or a breaker bar on the tensioner pulley, relieving the tension and slipping the belt off of as few pulleys as possible. The less you take off, the less you have to put back on. With the belt removed off of the alternator, now's the time to start removing the bolts holding it in place, mine having one on the top and two on the bottom. Once the bolts are removed, there will be two different sets of wires coming off the back. One will be a power wire that is routed back to the battery for charging, and the other being some kind of plug that is used to detect voltage level. With the wires disconnected, now is the time to get a plan of attack on getting the alternator out of the engine bay. Some are very easy, like my old C10, or my dad's Ram I filmed a video on a few years ago. Others are not, like this video that took me several hours to fight. All just depends on application. This is where Google is your best friend. Find a decent forum, or even better, a YouTube video with your car or a similar one to get the best idea of wrestling it out. I personally like to struggle for entirely too long before giving in to the previously mentioned step. In my case, and many others I'm sure, I had to take off the upper radiator hose, requiring me to drain off a little bit of coolant to minimize spillage. But don't let this deter you. There's a little valve that should have a drain hose at the bottom of your radiator. Just open the petcock, drain the coolant safely into some container, preferably one with a lid so you can reuse it, then close the valve. Once everything is out of the way, just pull out the old alternator and compare it to the new one to make sure everything will go back smoothly. Now comparing the old one and the new one, we can see that the mounting points are heavy. We can see that the mounting points are exactly the same. They both have the same bolt on the top, 2 bolts on the bottom. And then on the back side, they both have the same plug/power output area. Long story short, everything matches. So let's go ahead and trash this old one. That way we can get our cord charge back, and let's put in the new one. Now all that needs to happen is reverse the process by reconnecting the wires, bolting down the new alternator till snug, putting back together any hoses or lines that needed to be removed. Now would also be a good time to top off any coolant that was removed, but I'll come back to this step later. Pulling on the tensioner pulley to slip the belt back on, reconnecting the battery terminal, and finally, Now, when it comes to refilling your coolant, it's pretty simple. Just make sure you keep the cap off of it and you fill up your coolant back up to the full line where it should be, and then start your car and turn the heater on full blast. That will cycle all of the coolant in your entire water system out of the car, and it will escape any bubbles that are in your system from you draining the radiator. Just make sure you keep an eye on the tank, make sure you keep it full at the full level. It will be burping and spitting out little air bubbles. That's fine. That's what's supposed to happen. That means coolant is coming in and air is coming out. And then just make sure you keep your eye on your temperature gauge. And then once everything seems smooth, once you get up to operating temperature, go ahead and put your cap back on and you're good to go. As always, if you found this video helpful or at least entertaining, please be sure to drop a like and share it with your friends. If you'd consider subscribing, click over here. If you want to see what YouTube recommends you watch next, click over here. And as always, I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Oh, and there's a merch link in the bio.